All right, boys and girls. So you should have just finished reading your slide in Nearpod about character traits and what character traits are. And you should have read that character traits are basically like the qualities or the characteristics that we can use to help define a character and their behavior. It's the aspects of a character's behavior. It's what we could use to help describe a character. And in this video, I'm going to show you how we can use character traits to describe a character and how we can compare those character traits to other characters or other things in real life. Because remember, for the next few days, we're going to be talking about how we can compare things in literature and text and in stories. So if you look on my screen now, you can see I'm actually on your reading journal. And this is an assignment you're going to be completing tomorrow on Tuesday after you have watched this Nearpod today. You will be doing this activity tomorrow. So pay attention because you're going to be doing the exact thing tomorrow, but with a different character. So for this activity you're going to be doing tomorrow, you're going to identify a character from a book. So for the example that I'm going to show you of how to use this chart and how to compare character traits, I'm going to use an example of Samuel from Blood on the River. You should remember we have just gotten done reading Blood on the River, and our main character in our story was Samuel, right? So if I was completing this chart on my own, I would write Blood on the River as the book I chose, and then Samuel as the character from that book I chose to write about the character traits of Samuel and compare those character traits to 3 different things. And we're going to get into that in 1 second. So for character traits, let's think about how could we describe Samuel? What character traits could we use to describe Samuel? Well, thinking back from the book, I think 3 main character traits I could use to describe Samuel is that he was courageous, he was brave, but he was also very quick to anger. He had a lot of anger in him. And as we went through the book, we saw as he tried to work to resolve that issue within himself. But we saw that he was very quick to anger, especially at the beginning of the book, right? We could say that he was almost hot-headed. That's what we could say when someone's quick to anger. We sometimes call them hot-headed. So if I were filling out this chart, like you will tomorrow, I would put for character traits for Samuel, remember I had written the book here, the character here, I would put that he is brave, because he did some very brave things throughout that book. He was courageous, but he was also quick to anger, or you could just say angry. All right, so now that I've identified some of the character traits of Samuel, now I can compare those character traits to 3 other people's character traits. So if you can see on our chart here, it says like myself, like a friend, and like another character. So for the rest of these columns in our chart here, you're going to compare whoever character you chose. Again, I chose Samuel. You're going to compare a character's character traits to yourself, a friend of yours, and another character from either a book, a movie, a TV show, anything you've seen that's school appropriate. You're going to compare Samuel's character traits to this. So let me show you an example of how to do this. So remember we said that Samuel's character traits were brave, courageous, but he was quick to anger, he was angry. So how is those character traits, how is that compared to myself? Well, knowing myself and my own character traits, I would like to say I'm brave and courageous, but to be honest with you, if I see a spider in a room or something, I'm not very brave around spiders. I might run out of the room if there's a spider in the room. So when compared to Samuel's character traits to my own, I might say that I'm not, I'll say not as brave as Samuel was. So that would be a way to compare my character traits to his. And brave and courageous kind of go hand in hand, so they're kind of similar there. So I would say that I'm not as brave or as courageous as Samuel was, but I can be at some point, but I'll just say not as brave. And then with quick to anger and angry, I'm not usually someone who is quick to anger. I'm usually a calm, so I'm going to write down calm person, and I might say a calm person, unlike Samuel. I usually don't get angry very quickly like Samuel does. Samuel was very quick to anger, right? So that's how my character traits would compare to Samuel. So then, like a friend. So if I were to think of a friend, so I'm thinking of one in my head, and I'm not going to say her name out loud, and you don't have to either in your chart, but I'm thinking of someone I know. And a person I know, I actually have a friend who is in the Army. She is in the National Guard. So I would say that when compared to Samuel, her character traits are very brave and courageous as well. I can't spell today, boys and girls. Courageous as well, because she is in the Army and she volunteered to do that, and she's very brave and courageous. But unlike Samuel, and again, I'm going to put, unlike Samuel, my friend is very calm. And she's very quiet too. She's not a very loud person. She's a very calm and quiet person. Unlike Samuel, he gets angry real quickly and will have outbursts or yell or fight someone. So that's how my friend's character traits would compare to Samuel's. And then finally, like another character. So if I thought in my mind and think, what character and their traits could I compare to that of Samuel's? So for the example I'm going to do today, I'm going to compare Captain America's character traits to Samuel. So for those of you who haven't seen Captain America or any of the Captain America or Avengers movies that he's in, Captain America, we could say that he is very, so I'm going to put let me write down what character is. Captain America is very brave and courageous. He was a soldier, and he helps to fight to save the world in the Avengers movies. So we would say that he is very courageous and brave. But unlike Samuel, I wouldn't say that Captain America is someone who's quick to anger, who's ready to fight everyone all the time. He usually only fights when it's necessary. So I'm going to say not quick to anger. And that's how you would complete this chart. This is an example how you would do this chart. And if you look throughout my example that I wrote here for Samuel's character traits and then myself, my friend, and another character, you can see I used some of those signal words you should have seen earlier in this Nearpod, right? So some signal words I used to compare Samuel to other people, real life and other characters as well. Some signal words you can see throughout my example. I put like not as brave as Samuel. I use that signal word there, unlike. I use that signal word as well. So those are some signal words that, like the ones we looked at earlier in this Nearpod, that you can use in your own chart as well that you'll complete tomorrow. So that's what you will be doing tomorrow. I want you to pick a different character than the one I chose. So pick a character from another book you have read sometime in your life. Make sure you write what book they are from, what character they are, and then complete this chart. And then you're going to have to write a paragraph about your chart, and there's more information about that here that will be in your reading journal. So make sure that you complete that. You can start that activity early, or you can wait until tomorrow to do that activity. So make sure you finish answering the questions. There should be about, I think, 2 or 3 more slides in this Nearpod, so make sure you finish this Nearpod, and then if you want, you can go ahead and get started on this assignment. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me or Miss Cook, and I will see you in another video.